We're live. We're live, guys. So I haven't told many people. I've only just decided to come on. It's a bit awkward because there's a lot of kids in the house. I said, can I have 45 minutes in this room? Let's give it a go. Right. My wife's upstairs doing stuff, so I'm going to quickly just message as many of you as I can. You can skip through this part if you want, guys. Just fast forward it 5 minutes and you can skip. We're going to carry on the Priscilla. So we're on part 2 of the Priscilla thing that we were doing. That Dan sent me the video. We've reviewed it quite a few times in the past, but Dan has brought it to the forefront and thought, you know what, I'm going to carry on where we left off. So quickly telling everyone, so we've got Deborah and Jean, we've got Thea, Patty, Beverly. So we're getting for Christmas, we're heading for New Year's Eve. My wife has just ordered the black pretend leather trousers to go with my black leather jacket for our New Year's Eve party. Hi, Jane. So it's next day delivery, so it's coming tomorrow. I probably will put it all on, guys, and let you see it, see what you think. You can hear the kids in the background, but don't worry about that. We can manage with that, guys. So quickly messaging everyone as fast as I can. Now, obviously, if there's people that are not getting the message, that are not responding to the message, then I'm going to stop messaging you because I only want to message people that want to be here. Very important. Please, if I'm messaging you and you don't want to be here, just tell me. Tell me. It's fine. It's fine, mate. It's all good with me. It's all good. Right. I know a lot of you are busy. It's Christmas time, New Year time. Everyone's got plans to see family. So quickly rushing through these names. There's so many. Hi, Karen. We're going to do a bit of Priscilla bashing. Oh, no, I shouldn't do that. We're going to do a bit of Priscilla debating. Yeah? So a bit of a slip of the tongue, yeah? How are you, Karen, today? Oh, thanks, Ayisa. Yeah, but I got the trousers coming tomorrow. Ayisa's bought me a coffee. Thank you, Ayisa. Thank you for the coffee. Anyone that buys me a coffee or a super thank you, that's very kind. So we have 86 members so far. We're only 14 away, so it's only $1 a month. If you want to be a member, guys, please hit the member button, and then we're going to do some members live streams. I've set it at the lowest level on purpose, so that it's not a financial hardship for anyone. It's literally $1. It's nothing, guys, and you can cancel at any time. Right, okay. Obviously, I love it when you guys send a super thank you and all that kind of stuff. It just shows me you like what I do, to be honest with you. Right, I think we've done quite a lot. Okay, I think there's a couple of people on Instagram, and then we're going to start doing this. Hi, Songbird. Oh, Karen, you've been poorly, have you? Oh, yeah, of course, you were poorly the other day, yeah. Oh, it's good that you're getting better. Hi, Josie. So let me just quickly go to Instagram and just tell, there's a couple of people on here, like Darlene, Lorna, there we are. Is Lorna on? Some of you, I know a lot of you tend to get these notifications a bit later, don't you? So, okay, I think that'll do for now. I want to get on and play we are reviewing one particular Priscilla Presley video. Let's just get it up. I'll give you the details of it. So just so you know, I have been uploading lots of different videos. I've uploaded a Sunny West funny story about Elvis. I've uploaded a Priscilla Presley interview from 1979, a Priscilla Presley interview from 1989, a Little Richard story thanking Elvis for opening doors for the colored people to break through in the music world. I'm a massive fan of Little Richard. So I am posting, as I'm trying to do quite a few every day, about 5 a day, retro vintage interviews from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I'm trying to get them out there, and then we're going to start reviewing them all. Yeah? I can hear the dog barking. Oh yeah, the dogs are back just for a while. They're back, then they're going back to see the nanny. Okay, so the point of the Priscilla interview that we're reviewing is to expose Priscilla's wrongdoing. We're not posting the Priscilla videos to promote Priscilla. Yeah, here at Defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. We are here to defend Elvis and Lisa and the bloodline, and we do that by exposing the wrongdoing of many different people. Priscilla is high up there. I don't hate her. This is not a hate channel. We just expose her wrongdoing so we can clear Elvis's name. And I keep saying this. The fact that all these things happened in the past and we can't change them is completely irrelevant. If there has been wrongdoing to Elvis or Lisa or Riley or the twins, we expose it so we can clear up the image and reputation and protect the legacy of Elvis and his bloodline. Yeah. So every time I hear someone say, oh, it's in the past, it's in the past, I know. So what? We defend Elvis Presley. We defend Elvis Presley. And people saying that we should not defend Elvis, people saying that because it's in the past, it doesn't matter, you are wrong. You are wrong. Sally Hoddle is a great example, the author of the book Destined to Die Young, trying to tell the fans that they can't have negative opinions about the history of Elvis or the Memphis Mafia or Colonel Tom Parker or Dr. Nick or Priscilla Presley. I'm sorry, but us Elvis fans are very strong-minded. We're very defensive and protective and loyal to Elvis and the bloodline, and we will defend all of them. And the way we do it, part of the way we do it, is by exposing the wrongdoing that has happened in the past, exposing the bad books that say negative lies and twist the truth. I always do it, guys, like this book, a book of lies, a book of fake truths, a twisted book to make Elvis look bad and Priscilla look good. Now we use this book to expose truth. We want justice for Lisa Marie Presley, the sexual abuse allegations against Michael Edwards. We want Michael Edwards arrested and imprisoned. I know that's extreme, but that's what we want. We want justice for Lisa Marie. I know it's all allegations. This is for entertainment purposes, but we are all together as Elvis fans going to try and make a difference. So the fact is that it's in the past, it doesn't mean nothing. So what if it's in the past? Irrelevant. Right, let's just check. Nancy, I've been wondering, and I always wondered why Lisa wasn't nothing to do with Billy Smith and his family, and I didn't know he wrote a book in 1996. I like how they always acted surprised. Hi, Nancy. Happy New Year. New Year's come in. Hope Riley's well. Now, I have heard about this book, this 1996 book, but I don't know anything about it. I'd like to learn about this book. Please, what is the title of the book? I'd like to discuss the book on a live stream. I would. Yeah, thank you, Karen. We have to keep saying the same stuff over and over again. We have to, because we're always getting new people joining us and they need to know the truth. They need to know about the wrongdoing towards Elvis. They need to know that Priscilla isn't the reason Elvis's legacy has been preserved, that Graceland was saved. It's not because of Priscilla. It's not because of Priscilla that that Graceland wasn't sold off. It's not. They all blame Elvis for his unfaithfulness, why the divorce ended. No, guys, you have to understand the history year by year. Priscilla was the unfaithful one just after Lisa Marie was born. I know I keep repeating it. You need to hear it. She was unfaithful again in around the end of 1970, 71. People need to keep hearing this. This is what brought it to a divorce. Priscilla demanded the divorce. People need to know this. The non-Elvis fans, you need to understand, once they divorced, Priscilla was after the money and had other men. Yeah, she wasn't kind to Elvis. Even years later, more money with a second divorce. Even trying to, because Elvis couldn't afford to pay Priscilla, even demanding more money where there was a debt placed on Graceland, which gave Priscilla a lot of power, especially when Elvis died, even more when Vernon died. So, guys, if you have been brainwashed, this is to the new people, or to the Priscilla fans, or to the Elvis fans that haven't done their research. This book did a lot of harm to Elvis. This book has been doing harm to Elvis even to this day, because they used this book to make the Priscilla film, Sofia Coppola's Priscilla film. So you have to understand, there's more to the story of Elvis and Priscilla than just, oh, it was a nice romance. You know, they met when she was in Germany and it was all happy, and then they got married, and then Elvis had a baby, and then Elvis was unfaithful, took drugs, they split up. That is not the truth. Elvis hardly knew Priscilla. She didn't move over to America for a few years. Even then, Elvis was still a single man. Elvis didn't settle down with Priscilla until she was about 21. Yeah? So all this, everyone accusing Elvis of being completely a serial adulterer. You need to understand the story that Elvis in 1960 moved back to Graceland to get on with his life, his career. Didn't see Priscilla for years. Was seeing many different people, including Anita Wood and Margaret, etc. So then eventually Priscilla does move over, for a holiday 2 or 3 times in 1962-ish. She moves over in 63 when she's nearly 18, but she's still not Elvis's official girlfriend. She wants to be. She hopes that Elvis will settle down and calm his ways. Elvis is in his 20s. He wants to party, have fun, enjoy the success of his fame, his beautiful talent, how he looked, the attention of women. Of course, he loved it. Why wouldn't he? He's a man in his 20s. He's a rock and roll star. He's a legend in his own right. He's the most famous man in the world. Yeah. So Elvis was not ready to settle down with Priscilla. He was not ready to get married or have children. Hi, beautiful wife. Get in the Hoover, are we? Do you want to come do a speech for Team Elvis?
Bye, sorry.
See ya. Love you.
Bye.
Love you back. So yes, yeah, I want to review that book, the Billy Stanley book. Yes, The Faith of Elvis. I'd love to review that book. So anyway, my point is, guys, too many people think everything was Elvis's fault. Too many people believe all the bullshit that is being repeated again and again and again in different books, especially this book. And we here at Defending Elvis, we're going to try and make our difference. And many people, I know I keep saying this, guys, many people think we shouldn't defend. Many people think that there's no need for a channel called Defending Elvis Presley. You're wrong. You're wrong, guys. Anybody that thinks that Elvis doesn't need defending, and his bloodline, Lisa and the twins and Riley, Go and do some more research, guys, because if you think that, you're blinkered. You're blinkered. You need to see the truth. And I say that with respect. So I've waffled on enough. I'm now going to play the same video we played earlier, but with this time we're going to stop and start it, okay? Because I got distracted, the kids and all that, so I wasn't able to do that video the way I wanted to do it, okay? So we're going to do it now. Let's have a look. So it's a 1979 interview. And let's have a think. Actually, let me just tell Salvatore that we're live, because I know Salvatore likes to. Salvatore, we're live, my friend. I know he likes to know. Okay, I've just told Salvatore we're live. So this interview, it's 1979. It's WREG TV in Memphis. Now, at this point, Priscilla hasn't quite got to that moment yet where she's going to start lying about Elvis intensely. You know, the book is just a thought. Even fame is a new thing for her. She hasn't fully decided if she wants to be on TV or make a movie or be a model, etc. She definitely won't put her hand at being a businesswoman. We know about Biss and Bo, the clothing boutique with her friend. But at this point in her life, she's a bit unsure about fame, stardom, money, success, attention, TV, movies. Yeah. So I think we see a big change in Priscilla from around 1979, 78, 79. We start to see the real Priscilla, who is very money hungry, very ambitious, puts her daughter Lisa last. She's very men hungry. She likes her men. A lot of her decisions that are being made are about men. Obviously, we know about Mike Stone, Michael Edwards, Robert Kardashian, and others. Lisa is the victim here. Lisa is the victim. She's the one that is left out. And we also now know that when this interview was happening, there was alleged sexual abuse happening. As we watch this by Michael Edwards, it's alleged, it's for entertainment purposes, but this is just our opinions, but this is how we feel. Right, I think you'll find it interesting. I understand many of you are very, very upset and angry with Priscilla. I'm not playing this to promote it. I'm playing this to expose the truth, to defend Elvis. Okay, guys?
Presley. She lives now in California, but you're in and out of Memphis very often now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And she is now the spokesperson for Wella Balsam, and that's all at hair producing.
Hair products, that's right.
What's your role as spokesperson for them?
Well, I'll be doing commercials, doing print work, and doing some public appearances for Wella.
What the girls want to know, are you really going to wash your hair every day?
I wash my hair every day anyway. I swim every day. So that the big problem is having to get all the chlorine out of my hair right away, you know. So it's great because all of Wella products are absolutely fantastic. The conditioner and the cholesterol. So I'm learning myself all about the products, and they work great. So they brought the shine back to my hair.
What do people ask you when you see them in public now? They're always asking about Elvis.
What do they ask me? Yeah. They usually ask me what I'm doing now.
We established you don't have your boutique anymore.
No, we don't. I don't. I sold it to my partner about 2 years ago. I had it for 4 years. It was very successful. It was a great experience. And I met a lot of wonderful people. Did a lot of designing.
Is this an entrance or pre-entrance into possibly a theatrical or show business career for you? Could you conceive that in the near future?
I'm not really thinking about a show business career because I'm not a fast mover. I'm a very slow mover, and I like to take things as they come. I really would like to devote my time to this product, and really work for it. I'm not that interested in a movie career or a series. I like my free time too, so whatever I can do.
Listen, that's a precious, precious commodity.
Yes,
freedom. Believe me. I don't have enough of it, but if you get it, hold on to it.
Well, a lot of people have asked me, one of the questions was, how you've always maintained a low profile. How can you be doing this? But it's not going to demand that much of me. I mean, I'll be seen in some of the ads, but my face is in all the movie magazines and the Inquirer anyway, so that's not going to be any different. And then I'll be doing a commercial, so it's not like I'm constantly, out in public, because I really do value my private life.
I would think traveling with and for Wella, a product that women need, a product that women use, it would be very easy for you to move into the role. It's something that you don't have to get up and get ready for.
Right. Except this morning. Oh my God, I don't even know I'm here right now.
Yeah, but really, if it's a woman's product, something you use, something you like, it's very easy. So you can enjoy travel and meeting people and doing what you want to do and really telling the truth about the product.
Well, you have to believe in the product, and it took a long time. I went to the factory and in New Jersey, and I met the heads of Wella, and they're wonderful people. And you have to believe in the product. And it's really, I was shocked when I found out how much care really goes into this product. So to believe in it really helps. And
you mentioned a minute ago the Inquirer and the movie magazines as one that they have written a lot about. Are they factual in what they?
Oh my gosh, no.
And you have no recourse really to.
Well, there's been a few articles that I wanted to take some action on, but I guess that draws more attention to it, and then I don't want to do that either. So you have to sit quietly.
So you just pause that a second. So this is my problem with Priscilla on this part of the interview, and that is he's obviously referring to different articles in the newspapers and maybe even other books that have been released. So I personally think she tries to come across very innocent, like all of the wrong things that have been said about Elvis have just been like books like the book Elvis, What Happened, and other books that had come out. From this interview, you don't think she's going to bring out a book like this. You don't think that she is going to reinvent history, rewrite history to damage Elvis's image, reputation, even harm his legacy. You see quite an innocent Priscilla through this, almost shying away from fame, from stardom, from attention, from the spotlight. So I honestly believe that this Priscilla isn't the genuine Priscilla that we all get to see, that sort of blossoms in a negative way towards Elvis. Now, the Barbara Walters interview is very, very different from this. The Barbara Walters interview, she really is the victim. She really is, oh my God, I was a prisoner. Look what happened to me. I was took advantage of. I was only 14. Elvis had a terrible temper. Elvis took drugs. So we really do see a very different Priscilla than this Priscilla. And this is why I'm playing this now. So let's keep going, guys.
Take a few deep breaths and wait for it to pass.
Count to 10.
Yeah, more than 10, about 100.
How old's your daughter now?
She's 11.
In school in California.
So again, I want to pause that again. So she's 11. Lisa Marie, beautiful Lisa Marie that we all miss and adore, is 11. She's at school in California. I'm guessing, is that Scientology? Yes or no? Do any of you know? So this very sweet, innocent, beautiful looking Priscilla in 1979 in Memphis, doing this interview. She's trying to get public on her side. She's trying to win over public opinion because she did have a backlash when she left Elvis. There was a backlash against her for humiliating Elvis with Mike Stone, the karate champion, in 1972-3. Yeah. So this interview, she is trying to win hearts here. So I keep saying this. If Lisa Marie is 11, the abuse is happening. The alleged sexual abuse that is clearly said in this book is happening. In our opinion, for entertainment purposes, we have to say it's alleged because it hasn't been proved. That we do believe Lisa. Riley made sure that the negative allegations are kept in this book, so for the world to know. Lisa made these tapes for the world to know what had gone on with Michael Edwards and other things, and Priscilla's bad parenting. Lisa wanted the world to know, including her friends and family. Obviously, the news companies around the world should have picked up on this story massively and defended poor Lisa. Yeah, obviously Lisa didn't know that she was going to die, nor did Riley. So now this is almost, I would class this almost like a confession. This is a confession from Lisa Marie exposing serious allegations against Michael Edwards, serious abuse at the hands of Priscilla. Remember, people must remember, Priscilla was the parent. Priscilla was in charge, so she is equally responsible for the wrongdoing towards Lisa as Michael Edwards, because she was in charge. Now, nothing has happened. No one has done anything. It's all been brushed under the carpet, and this book is being forgotten. We can't get justice for Lisa if everyone forgets about this book. So we have to keep bringing up the information that we were given on the 16 tapes by Lisa. So I don't understand why it's been forgotten. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. Some people think it's because of Scientology. Who knows the reason? Who knows why Michael Edwards hasn't been arrested and questioned? Who knows why Priscilla, her fame with the Priscilla fans hasn't changed? The Priscilla fans have not changed their mind about Priscilla. They still follow her around and treat Priscilla like she is Elvis. Priscilla has carried on with her life as if nothing has changed. She's still doing all the public appearances, the book signing events, many other, there's many quite well-known Elvis, I'm not sure the right way of wording it, events that she is still attending, and they're queuing up to see her. There's other events like Comic-Con with Dallas, etc., and Naked Gun, all that kind of stuff, and they're queuing up to pay Priscilla for autographs, for signing things, signing pictures. Why? Doesn't make sense. The world now knows about the abuse, but Priscilla is being treated like Elvis. It doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. Priscilla even contested Lisa Marie's wishes with Graceland's, wanting it for herself, not just for Riley and Finley and Harper. It doesn't make sense. So we've had exposed sexual abuse allegations. We've had the money grabbing with Graceland's. We've had some quite uncomfortable interviews with Navarone. When Priscilla is asked about the book From Here to the Great Unknown, she laughs out loud with Navarone and says, I love her to death. This is a mother talking about her dead daughter. None of it makes sense. So all we can do is keep bringing it up, exposing it, hoping that people notice just how seriously wrong the whole situation is with the book From Here to the Great Unknown, with the original book Elvis and Me, with these allegations that have come out, and just keep pushing and pushing until we may get heard one day. Let's keep going, guys.
We used to see her, and you got to talk a little bit about it since you're in Memphis, I'm sure. But when she'd have a little purse, little plastic handle on it with a little Barbie doll's face on it, and Mr. Presley would bring her out sometimes to catch the plane where you had sent for her,
right.
and then sometimes she traveled with a nurse.
That's right. You know all those things. You're an American, right?
Yeah.
You're giving all those secrets away.
Right. And the way we would see you and Elvis when Lisa was just a baby, we'd Susan Fraser and I would sneak her in the back of the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And that was us. When he'd go around on the runway, we'd sneak up the back, and just the three of you would be on, and we could just ask you and talk to you like we wanted to. And I'm sure Memphians are just as much as in love with you, having been a Presley and still are Presley.
I hope so. I know Memphis. I'm so fond of it. I feel like it's my own hometown. I grew up here, and yesterday at the Coliseum, there was so many smiling faces, and it was wonderful to be received. And I look out and see some familiar faces, and I kind of wave, and it's great. I mean, Memphis is really it's a beautiful city. A lot of hospitality here.
Your role now in the will, you really
in the will.
You have to kind of run things, make the decisions.
Yeah.
Is that a horrendous experience?
So I need to
see some familiar faces.
He comes out with a very important point, doesn't he? He says there, I'm not sure who that guy is. You can tell me, guys, if you know. He mentions the will. Oh yeah, with the will, you have to make all the big decisions now. You're in charge, yeah. But it's such a complicated story. Why Priscilla maneuvered herself to a point of being in charge of Gracelands, being the executor of Gracelands, co-executor on behalf of Lisa Marie. I can't go through it all now because it's quite complex, but the bottom line is that there was pressure on Vernon to allow Priscilla to become the executor of Gracelands, everything Elvis. Obviously, being the mother of Lisa had a massive effect. And many people don't understand this, but this debt on Gracelands, which I think forced Elvis to sell his pre-1973 recording rights, gave Priscilla power. So Vernon felt that Priscilla had been taken care of in the second divorce settlement, and she did. Even Elvis felt that way. Elvis felt Priscilla had had enough. Yeah. The second divorce settlement was very greedy, and quite cruel, I think. So when Elvis passed, Elvis didn't want anything left to Priscilla. He wanted everything to go ultimately to Lisa. Ultimately, I know there's other relatives, but ultimately to Lisa. Yeah. Then Vernon passes. It's a complicated story, but Priscilla manages to maneuver herself into the almighty position of being the boss of Graceland, and which is so wrong, so sad. And so then when this gentleman who's interviewing Priscilla says, oh, how about the will? Now you make all the big decisions. There was a almost Dallas style business stuff happening behind the scenes. It's like an episode of Dallas where she managed to be the boss, almighty power over anything Elvis, even above Lisa. So let's listen to what she says.
And I kind of wave, and it's great. I mean, Memphis is really it's a beautiful city. A lot of hospitality here.
Your role now in the will, you really
in the will.
You have to kind of run things, make the decisions.
Yeah.
Is that a horrendous experience?
She loved it.
It's scary. I mean, because it's a big responsibility. There's a lot of big decisions to be made, and hopefully, with a lot of time and thought, they'll be the right decisions.
When you're not traveling with Wella, you just got started, didn't you?
Yes.
How long?
In fact, this is my first appearance, and I couldn't believe.
Tape this, Bobby. Hold on to this tape, Bobby. Yes. Well, then you can't answer the next question. I was about to ask you, what do you do in your spare time?
Oh, I can answer that.
Okay.
I travel. And I go to different countries. I really want to travel to Europe and spend some time, about a month. I love, European countries. I mean, it's the old the old history there, and I love that.
Living in California and having your daughter Lisa with you, do you think it's better for her than if she were in Memphis, where she would constantly be pounced upon as Elvis's daughter? Do you have freedom and more privacy to raise her as
Oh, right. Okay. Now that is a question and a half, guys. Now remember, our opinion is very much. Let me just turn this camera a bit so it's facing me. Our opinion is very much. Let me get it away from the sunbeam. Our opinion is very much that we feel, Elvis fans, that Lisa, Elvis should have had custody. Elvis should have had custody. That would have changed many things. Okay, so we're moving forward after Vernon dies. You can hear the kids screaming in the background. You can hear it. Now, I've always felt that, how can I say it, that Priscilla really wanted to live in California. So I've always felt that Priscilla didn't like living at Gracelands in Memphis. So let's listen to what she says.
What do you do in your spare time?
Oh, I can answer that.
Okay.
I travel and I go to different countries. I really want to travel to Europe and spend some time, about a month. I love, European countries. It's the old history there, and I love that.
Living in California and having your daughter Lisa with you, do you think it's better for her than if she were in Memphis, where she would constantly be pounced upon as Elvis's daughter? Do you have freedom and more privacy to raise her as just Priscilla's little girl, rather than Elvis's daughter?
Yes, she has her total privacy there. She's like any normal child growing up. She still carries her Barbies. She loves Barbie dolls. She has a lot of friends.
Oh, let me just. I have to pause that bit because now hear what she says. She's just like any normal child. She talks about her Barbie doll, etc. But we now know this was going on. Vincenzo just mentioned it as well. So you see everything differently. This whole interview, you see it completely differently when you know what's in the book, when you know what was going on. Some people feel that Priscilla turned a blind eye to it. I asked you this question many times. How many of you believe that Priscilla knew it was happening? All of you said that you feel that she knew. Even now, if I said to you now, did Priscilla know that the abuse was happening with Michael Edwards, and did she turn a blind eye? Let's see your answers, guys. And it's shocking. Please answer the question. How many of you think Priscilla knew and turned a blind eye to it? Because I find it shocking, guys. I like to think she didn't know. Yeah. But if she did know, it just makes all of it a lot worse. So 11-year-old girl, a man nearly 40, and nothing's been done. And we're demanding justice for Lisa. Priscilla obsessed with Michael Edwards. There were drugs involved, like cocaine binging, allegedly. They were having many parties. Even an open relationship may have been happening with Michael Edwards. Priscilla wanted to travel and pursue her career. Lisa Marie is left with Michael Edwards alone for weeks, whilst Priscilla pursues her fame, her stardom, her career, her acting, you name it. This is all to come, isn't it, guys? And she sits there looking all sweet and innocent, like a poor little Priscilla. Oh, my husband died, but he wasn't her husband. She had divorced him 5 years before he died. This interview was done, I think 7 years after, 2 years after. This interview was done 2 years after Elvis died, but 5 years. Is it 5? I'm trying to work it out. 70. So this is 79. So yeah, this interview was done years and years after Elvis died. They weren't together, but Priscilla is treated as if they were still married when Elvis died. That's how Priscilla is treated. Even now, people treat Priscilla as if she is Elvis's widow. And when we hear the bullshit of Elvis is the love of my life, anyone that falls for that is, I'm sorry, no offense, guys, but you must be pretty silly to think Elvis is still the love of her life. Elvis stopped being the love of Priscilla's life in 1971. Yeah. 6 years before he died. Yeah. And the disgusting thing is, only a few years after the marriage. Yeah. Because remember, Priscilla was unfaithful to Elvis 2 to 3 months after Lisa was born, 10 months after the wedding. Why don't people know this? Why do people feel that Priscilla was with Elvis from age 14 till the divorce in 1973? It's ridiculous. One article I read said that Priscilla and Elvis courted for 8 years before they got married. Now, that is just crazy. Why does anyone believe that Priscilla and Elvis were in a relationship for 8 years before they got married? It's so untrue. So untrue. 2 years of that period, they didn't even see each other. It just, everything is twisted against Elvis to make Elvis look bad. This is why we're called Defending Elvis. I say it again and again. Why are we called Defending Elvis? Because the amount of lies that have been twisted to make Elvis look bad are unbelievable. Let's keep going. Let's listen to this section.
Where she would constantly be pounced upon as Elvis's daughter. Do you have freedom and more privacy to raise her as just Priscilla's little girl rather than Elvis's daughter?
Yes, she has her total privacy there. She's like any normal child growing up. She still carries her Barbies. She loves Barbie dolls. She has a lot of friends, very few show business friends, which I like because, you know, I want to let her know that it's not all a fantasy. It's really down to earth. And she, I don't even think she even is really affected at all. I mean, she knows who her dad is, and she knows her dad as her dad. She loves him, and that's the way it is.
Have you ever had to spank her?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
She's a mother.
Well, then she's normal.
She's not a bad child. She's a wonderful child, very considerate and sensitive child. So I've only really had to spank her, I would say, 3 or 4 times. One was pretty recent. She's growing up now. She's getting a little smart. So she
came to Liberty Land the night that Elvis rented the whole park with him and his associates and had a delightful time.
Oh, yeah.
Are you starting her out on Wella, too?
Yes, she's got the conditioner and the shampoo. What she loves about it is the fact that it's the small little bottles that you can carry around. So she likes that.
In her Barbie case.
In her Barbie case, right?
That's great.
Yeah. You're even prettier.
Oh, thank you.
And she's lovely. Really natural.
It makes me cringe. It makes me cringe. She's like, oh, she's carrying her little bottles around, you know, little baby bottles of Hella shampoo, you know, and then he kisses her ass and says to her, oh, you're even prettier in real life than you are in your pictures. He's obviously in love with her and besotted with her. She's a beautiful woman. She used her beauty to her advantage. She used her physique to her advantage. She knew that being so beautiful, she had power over men. And I really believe even Piers Morgan, even now, Piers Morgan, that ridiculous interview that he gave recently, I think he was smitten with Priscilla. I really do. She used her looks. She did it to Elvis as well. She did it with Mike Stone because she dropped Mike Stone, the karate champion, like a rock when she was bored of him. She even dropped Michael Edwards like a rock when she was bored of him. She used her looks to get what she wanted.
My eyes are open this morning. I don't know. That's all right. People really get up this early and watch television.
It's the best time of the day. We thank you very much.
Thank you.
For coming to be with us in your first official Wella.
Thank you.
Your hair is sharp. Even though it's early, it does have a beautiful shine to it.
Thanks. It's a pleasure being here.
Okay, so let's look at another interview. This one is this is 10 years later. Yeah. So it's on CBS News. Now, I haven't watched this one. I haven't watched this, so we're going to watch it together for the first time, and then we're going to just review it, criticize it, and see what we think. Yeah, guys? 1979.
Priscilla Presley
1989.
Elvis, his memory, and their daughter. It was the first time she consented to a television interview about some of these subjects in just a couple minutes. Priscilla Presley, setting the record straight. The reason for writing the book was because Albert Goldman had just finished and made a bestseller out of the book he had written, and I felt did him a horrible injustice. So I took it.
Yeah. Oh, what a great start to the interview. The reason for writing the book is because of Alden Goodman's book did a horrible injustice. But then she writes this. She's talking about this book. Her own. I know Albert Goodman's book, but her own book is to put things right. To put things right. Set wrongs to right. I've never watched this. Let's keep going, guys.
It was the first time she consented to a television interview about some of these subjects in just a couple minutes. Priscilla Presley, setting the record straight. The reason for writing the book was because Albert Goldman had just finished and made a bestseller out of the book he had written, and I felt did him a horrible injustice. So I took the responsibility of hopefully setting the record straight in that sense.
Don't come in there, no one's in there, sorry.
About giving interviews, especially where daughter's involved. She and Lisa Marie did their first interview together for this Life magazine cover story. The Life magazine photographs are the only ones that they've ever agreed to for magazine publication. The text and the pictures tell the story of two women and their love for Elvis, and Priscilla Presley joins us this morning. I can understand why you're cautious, and it's something that you must have gone through numerous lifetimes already at the age of 43. It's not just, I think my protection from my daughter's privacy and my privacy go hand in hand, because when you're in the public or in the limelight, you have to have something for yourself. And I don't feel that we have to exploit everything we do. You know, I don't feel like I have to say everything we do. I like that, and she likes that. We live a very private life, and we like to keep it under wraps in that sense. When Life magazine approached us to do this, we had an act.
Does anyone fall for that? Does anyone fall for that bullshit she has just said? Come on, guys.
Like we said, no, we didn't want to do it. And then we started talking about it and thought, my God, there's been so much out there. And there's probably such a misconception about us. Why don't we do it? And she's ready, and she's a grown woman now, a young lady. And so we decided to do it. What really bothers you about people right now? Is it trying to keep Elvis alive that really hurts Priscilla Presley? I think it would be wonderful if we just let the man rest in peace. I don't think that what has happened.
Oh my God! Do you guys? Come on, we have to laugh at that. We're talking about our lovely Elvis, yeah. Please let the man rest in peace, yeah. She says. Priscilla says, knowing what we know is in this book, knowing what has happened to her daughter, what her daughter has gone through. I think here her daughter would be 19 or 20. Poor Lisa Marie, God rest her soul. We know that for at least 5 years of poor Lisa Marie's life, she was being sexually abused by Michael Edwards. The reason we know it, it's in the book. Lisa put it in the book. Riley kept it in the book. Now, we have to say it's allegations for entertainment purposes, opinions, but we know it. So I find it hilarious. But in this interview, she does look very uncomfortable. There's something not right in this interview. Now, can I ask you guys, in 1979, who was she seeing? Who was she seeing? I'm interested to know. I mean, sorry, 1989. Who was she seeing?
Is Elvis alive? I think it's been a terrible injustice again to him. I don't feel it's fair, and I don't feel it's right.
Of you and of Elvis. What do you tell her every day about her father that she must remember, no matter what people say, no matter what the press creates?
I don't think I have to say anything to her. First of all, I think Lisa has accepted his death very well. Her father, as in Life magazine said, her father was her father.
Right, hang on. Right, couple of bits. Sorry, I have to review this ridiculous interview. Right. Well, this book, this lovely book, From Here to the Great Unknown, made by Lisa, finished by Riley. Lisa's own words on tape. There's no way that Elisa accepted her father's death. No way. Lisa was so close to Elvis. They had an unusually close relationship in a beautiful father-daughter way that we've now learnt from the book. Was they were even closer than we thought. We also know from the book that the death of her father really impacted her life every day of her life till the day she died. So when Priscilla says, oh, she accepted her father's death, nah, she didn't. She learned to live with it. She learned to live with it. It's a big difference. Now, with the gift of hindsight, we know the tragic circumstances of the life of poor Lisa Marie, yeah, at the hands of Priscilla, who was in charge, yeah. So it's almost like Priscilla is unaware of the hell that Lisa had gone through, not just from age 11 at the hands of Michael Edwards, the abuser, allegedly. Also, you think about it. When I know I'm going to repeat something, guys. I have to keep repeating things. When Priscilla ran off with Michael Edwards, with Michael Stone, the karate champion, she took Lisa with her. What about that damage? She was living with Elvis. She loved living with Elvis, Lisa did. But Priscilla decides that she's going to go after Mike Stone, secretly sees him for a year while she's married. Mike Stone's wife, Frances, is pregnant, and they have a small girl. They're married, yeah? Priscilla makes this massive decision to wreck Mike Stone's family, to wreck her own family, Elvis, Lisa, and she takes Lisa with her. So sometimes people think, oh, everything went wrong, once Elvis died. No, things went wrong for Lisa, who was very happy living with dad, Elvis. Things went wrong for Lisa, age 3. Could have been 2 or 3. Then it all goes wrong, and it's Priscilla's doing. Priscilla makes the decision to go after Mike Stone, to demand a divorce. When it's exposed and found out that Priscilla was seeing Mike Stone for a year, Priscilla doesn't go, oh my God, I've been caught. I have to make amends. I have to do the right thing with my husband, who I've only been married to for 3 years, with my poor daughter, who is only 3. Priscilla doesn't try and make things right and go, okay, then, I've been caught, hands up. No, she uses it as an opportunity to demand a divorce. Priscilla demanded the divorce. Elvis didn't have no say in it. Priscilla demanded it. It was happening. And we know this because Mike Stone has clearly said this in his interviews. He has clearly said Priscilla had a game plan to get away from Elvis, no matter what. And she used Mike Stone, the karate champion, as a means to an end. And she dragged Lisa Marie away from her father around 3 years old to live with a stranger in a strange apartment, all because Priscilla wanted to have sex with a different man and to have her own life, her own career, because Priscilla, as she keeps saying, felt like Graceland or whichever home they were in at the time was a dungeon, was a prison. Her life was a prison, even though Priscilla had moved from rags to riches. Remember this, guys. When Priscilla lived in Germany, she lived in a very humble home with her parents, her Air Force parents. She went from that life to the massive world of Graceland. There's a big difference, but she talks about it like it was a prison, a dungeon. Like she had no life. Such a joke. Yes, in Germany she had no life. But the minute she came to America, to Memphis, her life was like living at Disney World.
Him as Elvis Presley, performer, entertainer, actor. That was her dad. and she has fond memories, and that's the way she's kept it, and nothing else really bothers her in that sense. You know, she really just looks at something, let's say the tabloids, and just puts it down and goes, oh, there they go again, because they'll always probably pick up on something in that sense. That's why I say just let them rest. I have. Give me one specific, that for those people who didn't read your book, the one thing that you really want to get across to people, this is what really happened. Well, it took 4 years to write the book. I wish I could just say this is what really happened in a nutshell, just like you say. It took a lot. There's a lot of misconceptions. There's been a lot written. I think, Elvis was a simple man a poor boy who made good was
Right.
America's dream. And actually, I think that the time that he spent in building and making his career was a struggle. I think that what he went through as a man, people would never know, because I don't think we'll ever see it again. In this lifetime, we'll never see this kind of phenomena ever happen again. And it's, he went through a lot, establishing his career. It wasn't all that easy. And I feel that just, let the man, I don't know, it's like I said, let him rest. It's just as simple as that. Priscilla, thank you for joining us to talk about it. Thank you.
In a recent conversation, Priscilla Presley told me about Elvis, his memory.
Well, that's the end of that interview. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Have we got one more? I just think the more she talks, I got this. Can you see this beam of light going through my head? I just think the more she talks. So if I move this way, the beam of light isn't going through my head. That's better, right? So, as I was saying, the more she talks, the deeper the hole gets dug. I do say that we have to have the gift of hindsight to properly critically review these interviews, yeah? Because I just think if you are a non-Elvis fan, if you're just a little bit interested in Elvis and Priscilla and Lisa, and you watch these interviews in 1989, in 1979, you just think, oh, poor Priscilla, she's had it hard. She's got to bring up a child on her own. Elvis has died. Elvis was unfaithful. He broke up the marriage. Elvis had a drug problem. And you just get a general feeling of poor Priscilla, poor Lisa. It's only when you do some research, when you take the time to understand each year, each month, you then start to go, poor Elvis. Elvis was a victim. Elvis was wronged, betrayed. Priscilla was the serial adulterer. Priscilla broke up the marriage. Elvis did the right thing. He didn't, under pressure, he married Priscilla. He gave her a child. Elvis wasn't ready for marriage. He didn't want to get married, but he did the right thing because he had a good heart. He was a good Christian man. He was a decent man. He wanted to do right by Priscilla, and he goes ahead with the marriage for whatever reason, whatever pressure, whether it be Priscilla's parents or Vernon or Gladys, or Colonel Tom Parker. Yeah, he does the right thing reluctantly. Many of us know that he didn't want to get married, did he? Yeah, but he does the right thing. He fulfills Priscilla's desires of marriage, a child, commits himself fully to Priscilla, and then within 10 months, she's unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor that's in the book. She admits it using the name Mark. So many people, these interviews that have been going on through the decades, starting in the in the late 70s, and there's lots of interviews now, dozens, I would say, different years, different decades, 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties, even in the 10s and the 20s, even the recent interview with Piers Morgan. Yeah. All of it to paint a picture of, oh, I saved Elvis. I saved Graceland. I'm the reason Elvis is remembered. I saved Elvis's legacy. I prevented Graceland from being sold. I brought up Lisa. It was hard for me. It was tough bringing up Lisa. She was a difficult child. You get it, guys? Poor Priscilla. Poor Priscilla. When you look under the surface, yeah, it's a completely different story. And we now have proof that Lisa was the victim. Lisa was the victim. We now know Elvis was the victim. Elvis was betrayed. Elvis was robbed on these 2 divorce settlements. Elvis's name was used to open doors for Priscilla. There's so much wrongdoing that it's literally unbelievable just how much wrongdoing Priscilla has done. I repeat it. I'm not a Priscilla hate channel. I don't hate Priscilla, but we have to expose Priscilla's wrongdoing. At the very least, we want Priscilla to show regret for her treatment of Elvis, of Lisa, of Riley, of Finley and Harper. At the very least, we want some kind of regret, some kind of apology. Now, some people have messaged me saying, oh, you know, the twins, Finley and Harper, are close to their gran. Riley is close to her gran. And there's a recent interview with Dear Chelsea where Riley says, oh, you know, my relationship with Priscilla is wonderful. But then she goes on to say, you know, most of the time, I'm not convinced that Riley and Priscilla are close. I'm not convinced. I think Riley is trying to do the right thing and put on a good public face on behalf of Graceland's EPE to try and show that Priscilla and Riley are okay. I think Riley feels he has to, but it isn't the right thing to do, I don't think. I think Riley's in a very awkward position because Riley obviously wants Michael Edwards questioned by the authorities. Of course she does. Riley, of course, she wants Michael Edwards questioned because her mother was abused by Michael Edwards, allegedly for entertainment purposes. Our opinions only. So it's a very difficult scenario that we are all find ourselves in here, where we're trying to defend Elvis and Riley and the twins, but the authorities don't want to do anything about it. It's in the book. We know it's there. We keep screaming out for justice for Lisa, and nothing is getting done, guys. Nothing is getting done. So I think I've done enough at the moment. I think we're going to have to do another part to this because I've got a few more Priscilla interviews to go through with you guys. Just so you know, I am jumping around at the moment. I am uploading a lot of vintage interviews, documentaries that I'm digging out from the archives, especially from the 70s and 80s. And as I dig them out, and we're going to post them on our channel, on our video channel, we are going to review them on here. We're going to watch them together and break them down. There's a lot. There's thousands of videos that I'm going to be uploading, reviewing with you guys. I'm sort of eased off on the book reading a bit, and I'll tell you why, because I've got YouTube breathing down my neck about copyright. So we can't read these books really, not in the way that we want to. So we can pick out small sections and review these sections, but it's a much more difficult way of doing things. I'm more at ease of digging up old vintage interviews and new ones. If anything new comes out that we can review, we reviewed Riley's recent interview with Dear Chelsea, didn't we? So anything new that comes out, we will also watch it together on here and we'll review it. I am trying to watch as many things as I can with you guys, so we see it almost for the first time together. I think it's a better way of doing things, so we get our first-hand reaction as Team Elvis. I think it's important. Then after we've reviewed these different videos that we're finding, interviews and documentaries, we'll then post them onto the channel so you guys can go back and watch them. So let's just read some of your comments, guys. But yeah, that was very, very interesting. I found that fascinating. Obviously, seeing your reaction as well, guys, because obviously we're all reacting together to the craziness of Priscilla's lies. Yeah. Right. Let's just have a look here, guys. I'm going to read a few comments, then I'm going to have to shoot off. But I don't know if I'll be back today. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I definitely will be posting some vintage footage today, because I tend to do it in my spare time when I'm walking the dogs or something. I can quickly put something together and post it. Yeah, Vincenzo, Priscilla definitely made Elvis suffer. It's disgusting. The worst thing was taking Lisa and going with Mike Stone. These are the two, and the divorce, the second divorce settlement. Those three things, extremely cruel, extremely cold-hearted, very nasty. Yeah, Vincenzo, he knows everything, doesn't he? He's a library of information. Let's have a look. I've been on Elvis fan since 1976 when I was 4 years old. Let's have a look. Imagine if Elvis had written a book, All the Secrets We Would Have. I wish he had. Karen, Vincenzo, that would have been, yeah. Karen wouldn't have been. It sure would have been, Karen. Yes, justice for Lisa, Denise. And thanks for the coffee, Denise. It's very kind. Guys, buy me a coffee. I love it. I'm always pleased when you get us a coffee or a super thank you. You know me, I'm pretty childish. I like a tap on the back. I like it when I'm made to feel like you like what I'm doing. If Elvis had lived, Louis, Mike Edwards wouldn't have been breathing anymore. That's so true. You're spot on, Vincenzo. Riley is trying to do her best. You think about it, guys, the pressure that Riley's under, taking over Gracelands. She has a small family. She's got an acting and modeling career. Doesn't she direct films now? A film producer. She's doing a bit of everything. Obviously, the book launched, writing the book, finishing the book, promoting the book. She does many, many interviews promoting that book for her mother. She's unbelievable. She's unbelievable. So Deborah, Riley is just keeping the peace, I believe, in my heart. When Nonna has passed, she will have another book. Yeah, I see that. I see that. That when Priscilla passes, we may get to see the truth about how Riley feels about her grandmother. It's true. Let's have a look. Right, is Deborah gone? Is that someone just said everyone have a blessed day? Let's have a look. Thanks, Deborah. So we've got bye everyone, and Louis. Yeah, I haven't gone yet, Jane. I'm nearly gone. How are you, Jane? Right. Okay. Hi, Isa. Okay. Oh, Finola, thank you. Finola's bought me a coffee. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Okay, guys, I think we've done well on this live stream. We've covered, I think we've got the point across about not falling for the bullshit of these early interviews. One 1979, one 1989. I think we got the message across. Again, we're defending Elvis and the bloodline. I actually think this particular live stream defends all of them. Elvis, Lisa, Riley, Finley, and Harper. It defends everyone, doesn't it, guys? So I do think it's important that we all come together and do this together. I think it's really important that it isn't just me talking. I want it to be us, Team Elvis, going through these interviews, some of these books, discussing the different things and reacting together. I think we must react together. Yeah, I think it's so important. Team Elvis taking care of business. Very important. Very important. Anyway, guys, I may do one more later. I don't know, but I definitely will be posting some vintage interviews, some vintage footage, some vintage documentaries every day. I think you'll find it quite interesting. Thanks, guys. Gotta go. Thanks for the coffee. Thanks for the super thank yous. Anyone, please subscribe and like. Of course, I want you guys to be members. It's only $1 a month. It's nothing. And the channel at the moment, we're having a big surge at the moment. We've had 140 subscribers in the last week. Our views in the last week have really shot up. So thanks, guys. Loads of views, loads of new subscribers. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks to Team Elvis. You've been great. Take care, guys.